Alright, so we're doing a little unboxing of Risk Strike here today. We'll see what's going on. Got my safety cover, my cutter, aka my Gerber knife. Got a nice little box, gold, blah blah blah. Everybody just wants to see the inside, of course, so let's see what's going on. Now, this game's been out about a year now, but I wanted to make sure that I got to look at it. I picked this up for like 20 bucks. I think it was at a Target. But I've always liked the game Risk, but I really wanted to see the component quality and stuff. And this game, oh, the box is actually pretty nice. Okay. Alright. Got ourselves our little rule book here. We'll take a look at that in a second. One of the things I definitely want to look at is probably the best components of the game are supposedly these tokens. Putting a little wax paper or something. That's interesting. So these represent the continents. As you start dominating the continents, you will get one for each one. And if you get two of these, then you win the game. But these are very thick, chunky components, which is nice here. Alright, so let's get rid of that trash there. So in here, what do we got? We got cards. Man, I have to say, this whole box looks nice with the presentation. You got the classic dice. Nice, big, thick, chunky combat dice. So, you know, let's give them a little roll here. In this situation, you guys know how Risk plays. You line up the high die versus the high die, so the attacker would win twice. The 6 beats the 3, the 6 beats the 1. Maybe I'll actually do a rules component. Doesn't sound like there's anything else in here. That's just a nice little placeholder for this. Fast and Furious World Domination. Very nice. Okay, so I guess your main components are just this, the rule books and the cards. And half of these cards are going to be these, I guess, tactics cards, and the other half are going to be the continents. This isn't a playthrough or anything, but I will, or an explanation, but I've seen this played enough online that it made me want to pick it up. Now, the continent cards, it looks like you get a couple of, so it plays up to 5 players, so you get 5 little player aids, and the player aids basically just show you, if you don't know Risk, where can you attack from and to. So you can attack within your own continent, or you can attack adjacent continents. So for instance, if I was in the blue area, represented by the blue token, that you can, that's if you dominate it, you can't attack from like here to Australia, because it's not, there's no arrow going from there, it's not adjacent, just like you couldn't attack from Asia to South America, and so on and so forth. So you get those cards, one for up to each 5 players, and then it shows you how many cards are needed to dominate. So at the beginning of the game, you'll draw X amount of these cards, and I think X amount of these cards. And anytime you draw one of these cards that are shuffled face down, they go up face in front of you. And if you ever control 4 of these, then you would take the matching colored token, the domination token, until you either get a second token and win the game, or somebody gets 4 from you, because there's only 6 of these total. So you can lose these in the game during battles, and that's how you fight for the control of the territory. And so someone could take that token. Now, if I just go down to 3, that's not enough for me to, let's say I had 3, my opponent has 3, but I've currently dominated this with 4, but they attack me from someplace and they end up winning one of mine. Now they have 4, they will now take the domination token. So that's, you get to hold on to it until somebody else dominates it, which is pretty cool. So you got 4 of those to control that. Here's the Asia ones, really nice. These cards are a little, I mean, they're decent, but they're not like good / great. They're not quite as good as poker cards or anything like that. They're a little more flimsy, but these aren't like, you know, all secret thing, like I'm going to be holding them and playing, because as soon as you grab one, you play it out in front of you, so that's not really as necessary. But you need 8 to dominate Asia. And does it show me how many there are? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does that say 10 or 11 of those? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you need 8 to dominate Asia. There are 10 of those cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Australia. I love how the tokens are just like spot on, you know, purple to purple, looking really good there for the domination tokens. So you need 3 of those in front of you to gain their domination token, 3 out of 4. And what is there? I'm guessing 7 of these in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 2 more than what's needed in this as well. Australia looks like the only one that doesn't have 6. So North America, you need 6 of these. So I'm guessing there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So 6 to dominate to get the domination token for that, of course. Beautiful looking tokens. And then, oh, wait a second, there was one I missed. There's a 9th one here, shuffled in awkwardly. I wonder if that was meant to be that way. Okay, so probably. Interesting. Maybe because it has more junction points. I don't know. So you need 3 to dominate South America. They're a beautiful token. I really love these nice chunky domination tokens. They're nice. So you need 3 to control South America. Alright, so let's take a look at the tactics cards. Now, I've only seen a few playthroughs, so I don't know everything. And let's go to the troops, because that's supposedly... Okay, so there's 2 types. There's going to be specialty cards, and there's going to be troop cards. I'm going to go let's see how many troop cards there are. Okay, starting here, so it looks like half the deck is troop cards, and so it tells you on here, it says, troop. Play during your attack phase 2. So I'm assuming there's like 3 phases to the attack probably. For each troop card you play, add 1 to your roll until you reach the maximum number of dice. Okay, so that's interesting. So if I'm trying to attack or defend, I guess during phase 2 I can play defenders, and so like if I only had 1 in attacking or defending with this, normally I'd only get 1 die, because let's say I'm the attacker, you could have up to 3 dice, but if I played 2 troop cards, I would be able to roll all 3 of these dice. And if I was the defender, as long as I had at least, if I had 1, I'd only get to play 1, and then 2 or more, I'd be able to defend with 2. So with your troops, but it looks like you can play as many of these as you want. And from the playthroughs that I've seen, that if you lose, then you start losing troop cards first, and then eventually after that, you lose the continent cards to the opponent. But it looks like half the deck is troop cards. Let's get a count on these. It may tell me actually in the contents, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. So I guess 18 of the standard troop cards. Okay, so now we've got... I'm just trying to see if they lumped them all together. Okay, looks like they did. So it looks like there's 3 artillery cards. It says play anytime after troops are deployed. And then it says your effect is force any one player to discard up to 2 active troop cards. Wow. So it tells you when to play it and then its effect by blowing up. Wow. These tactics cards can be very powerful. Bombard. You play after players roll your dice. Okay, so you roll your dice, then you can play this. And it says change any 1 die to a 6 if necessary. Then it says reorder the dice lineup in order to the highest. But oh yeah, well that just makes sense. So yeah, so like normally you line up the dice, but it's probably just making sure that you know. It's like if you change 1 to a 6, it's going to move to the top, if assuming that you needed to. So Bombard gives you an advantage after the dice are rolled, and there's 4 of those cards. And then it looks like we've got 3 of these canceled order cards. Cancel the card just played. You cannot cancel a troop card. Oh, that's great. So if somebody tries to bombard you, you can play a cancel card. Hey, Magic players, here's your counter spell right there. Okay, and there's only 3 of those. And then 2 expand cards, and it says play any time on your turn. Draw either 2 continent cards or 1 tactics card. So like if this is just in your hand and you're like, I don't know, man, yeah, just maybe I get lucky on the draw, I'll play this. That's pretty good. Looks like it resolves immediately, so that's a pretty good card. Rally. Play on your turn after you and your opponent roll dice. Add 2 to each die you rolled. Huh. I'll have to look in the rules to see, like, okay, so if I had a 5, does it actually make that a 7 if that was my highest card? Like, let's say I had a 5 and a 4, does that make that a 7 and a 6, or do they max out at 6? But still, play on your turn. Well, it doesn't say change the die like the other one. It says add to the roll, but that's something to look at. Maybe if I have time at the second in the rule book, I'll look that up last. So let me put this to the side so I can have a little reference maybe to look that one up a little bit. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rally cards. And looks like there's 4 sabotage cards. Sabotage say play immediately after troops are deployed. End the battle. Any active troop cards return to the player's hands and the attacker's turn ends. So you have to play this immediately after the troops are deployed, so you don't get to roll dice yet. Then end the battle, and then everybody basically gets to return their troops, right? Any active troops are returned to the player's hands and the attacker's turn ends. Huh. That's a pretty decent card. Like if you like, I'm definitely going to be losing. That's a great defensive card. Or if you happen to be losing in a battle and it's not going your way, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I guess if you're the attacker at the end of each round, you don't have to press the attack. And there's 2 spy cards. Play any time on your turn. Then you get to look at 1 player's tactics card, then draw 1 tactics card from the deck. So basically, you get to sneak a peek at one of the player's cards. I'm assuming well, it doesn't say random, so they probably can just hand you one. They're forced to show you one, but then you get to draw a new one. So it gives you an idea of what they're maybe holding. Okay, so that covers all the components. Beautiful box, except for the rules book. We'll take a look at that to see how well that's done. I'm just moving some stuff out of the way so we can take a gander. Because I'm curious about this rally card, because it add 2 to each die roll. I wonder if there's going to be some expanded. Oh, on the back here, let's see. It kind of explains it in detail. Rally. So rally. Oh, it tells you how many cards there are here. 4 cards. Play on your turn. You and your opponent roll dice. Add 2 to each die rolled. Now, there's not an expansion on this. I mean, technically, if you want to find out, you can go to BGG, but I would assume you're adding to that value. So if your opponent rolled a 5, a 6 and a 5, and you rolled a 6 and a 4, and you're the attacker, you'd probably win 2, the first 2, because you're adding to the value and not changing the die. Unlike the whatever the other one is, bombard. After change any one die to a 6. So that's changing a die. This is just adding 2 to the dice you roll. So, but there might be a different roll. So this is the rule book. Kind of comes in an expansive, like roadmap-ish thing, but it looks like very simple rules. On your turn, you draw 2 cards, and then you choose to attack or pass. And then if you pass, you draw 1 additional tactics card on your turn. So you can choose to draw 2 continent cards, 2 attack cards, or 1 of each. Then it says +1 tactic card. Okay. So, okay. So you can draw 2 continents cards, 2 attack cards, or 1 card +1 tactics card. Note, you can also draw from the surrendered continent cards pile. That's interesting. So surrendered, interesting. I wonder how that works. So if you're defending and you thwart off somebody, their territory goes in. I'll have to look that up later. But anyway, this is mainly just an unboxing. Rick Strike, I've seen it played a few times. It looks pretty cool. for a quick game. The time limit on the box says 20 minutes. This great, you can actually feel like whatever the opposite of the term applique is, the engraving on the box. Beautiful, glorious gold in here, and everything looks really nice. One of the best presentations for a $20 game, something quick. If you don't want to play a long, drawn-out 4-hour, 6-hour game of actual Risk, and you got a bunch of people, up to 5 players, you can play this. I think that's a fantastic plan. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.